Extraordinary human. Welcome, Jonathan Perez here. In today's episode, I want to share with you something specific that you can begin to do immediately to begin to experience a deeper sense of personal freedom. And out of all of the things that I can share with you, I want to share with you one of the biggest things that I work on with my clients and some of the biggest work that I've done with myself. You see, one of the things that happens is that when we as individuals discover transformational work, spiritual teachings, personal development, oftentimes we come into that work from the belief that there's something wrong with us. We come into this work with a fundamental, flawed, in my opinion, idea of ourselves that we're flawed in some way, that there's something wrong with us that needs to be fixed, that there's something broken. But that right there is actually one of the big issues that if we don't touch it, we don't resolve it, the search for healing, the search for enlightenment will keep recycling itself. Recycling, and therefore we'll need more personal development, more books, more coaches, more workshops, more whatever out there. Like, something please fix me. Something please make this feeling go away that I'm broken. And unfortunately, a lot of things out there in the personal development space are also marketed to speak to you in a way that makes you believe sometimes that, well, shit, maybe I do need this. Maybe I am broken. Maybe I do need that thing. And I personally have a problem with that, because what I love to see in people is their power, their potential, their genius. And when we speak to people as if they're broken, especially if they're in a vulnerable and innocent state of wanting to change, it can literally recreate this belief system within them that there is something wrong with them. So, side note on that. But the main thing I want you to know is, if you are deep into this type of work, I really want you to consider, are you doing this work from a place of true curiosity, having fun with it, bringing a light heart to the work, asking yourself, hey, what can I learn here? Or are you chasing more personal development, transformational work, transformational experiences, courses, workshops, coaches, whatever it is, from the belief that there's something wrong with you, from the belief that something needs to be fixed? And I say this because I've had to go through this journey myself. I have done so many things, and it's like I've had to go through this to have this realization. But I used to project my own belief of that I'm broken onto whoever was leading the course, whoever was leading the workshop, looking at them like my savior. Please fix me. Please help me, because you're better than me and I'm broken and you're not. And you have the answers that I need. And in that, I realized how I was giving my power away and my agency away fully. And some of the best coaches I've had, they've called this out. And they were able to help me recognize, hey, well, there really is nothing wrong with you here. Yes, you're becoming aware of some limiting beliefs. You're becoming aware of some limiting patterns, but at the most fundamental core of who you are, it's impossible to be flawed. And that took me into a deeper contemplation of what that really meant. I'm like, well, the truth is, you, me, every single human being, simply by being human, is valuable, is perfect. If we talk in spiritual terms, the way I see it is every human, every individual is divine, perfect, a creation from the Most High, an emanation of the Most High, created in the image of God, whatever term you want to use. And therefore, no matter what their belief systems are, you can't fix what is not broken. You can't fix what is not fundamentally flawed. And so what I'm saying here is that me, you, our core essence, the truth of who we are as individuals and as humans, cannot be broken. We just are, period. And simply by being human, you are valuable, I am valuable. we matter, and that part of us needs no fixing. Now let's talk about then when we talk about personal development work, okay, well then what are we developing? Well, we're developing the personality. Well, we're expanding our belief systems. We're expanding what's possible. We're expanding our beliefs of what's possible. But whether we believe we can make 10 million or 100 million, it's just a belief system. Both of those individuals who have those belief systems at the core, they're the same. And they're both perfect and divine and whole. And so what I started to practice was, okay, well, at the most fundamental level, can I practice embodying the identity of being whole, being complete, not being broken, not being flawed? And that, yes, my brain actually does have limiting beliefs about what's possible. And so what I'm changing and becoming aware of are my limiting beliefs and my patterns and my ineffective habits that aren't really serving me. That I get to become aware of and change. But just because I have quote unquote ineffective habits or limiting beliefs does not mean that I'm broken. It doesn't mean that you're broken. And just because you have a limiting belief doesn't mean that you, the real you, the core, at the core, that you need fixing. And so in this conversation, what I really am suggesting here is how you can begin to identify with the part of you that's already whole. The part of you that, whether you have $10 in your bank account or $100 million in your bank account or billions in your bank account, whatever, doesn't matter. We're all the same. At the core level, we're all divine, we're all beautiful, we're all whole, we're all perfect. And yes, you and I get to look at where we're limited in our ways of thinking and expand that, where we have habits that are limiting us and we change those. But personal development and transformational work and the whole healing process can become a lot more fun when we start to embody this belief that we're not broken. And so one last thing I want to share for now on this topic is to move quicker into that then, to move into this belief system or into this way of thinking that I'm not broken, that there's nothing wrong with you. That would also mean then that you and I have to accept ourselves exactly as we are. We have to accept and in a way fall in love with our limiting beliefs, fall in love with our programming, fall in love with our childhood, fall in love with everything about our past because it's happened exactly as it needed to. It's when we resist that we suffer more and we think we're broken. And so when you can practice radical self-acceptance, radical self-acceptance and forgiveness for everything really in your life and anything that you need to forgive yourself for from the past, when you start to do that, things change. The way you see yourself changes. And so the question becomes, where do you need to give yourself acceptance for parts of yourself that perhaps you don't like or that you have resisted? And what might you need to forgive yourself for from the past? These are big questions to think about. But when you begin to accept yourself and love your life exactly as it is, and forgive yourself for anything from the past that is hindering you, I really do believe that we start to feel more whole almost instantly. So that's something for you to practice. So I'll leave you with that. This is a big conversation, but I wanted to open up this topic because my desire is for you to be free. That's really my desire, is for you to feel extremely free. And I say all of this because, again, most people seek this type of work because they want to feel free. But we can't approach this work from a state of consciousness that says we're broken, because otherwise it's really hard to make progress. Drop any comments, drop any questions you might have. Thank you for listening. Thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you.